Good morning, everyone. I'm Ramachandran, having 17 years of industrial experience, and I completed my BTech from REC Warangal, and I did a postgraduate program in business analytics from Great Lakes, and a PGDBA in finance from Symbiosis. Currently working as a data scientist and analytics solution architect. My experiences on advanced statistic techniques on the unstructured text analytics, and as well as using NLP and building a chatbots. And I have experience on image analytics also. My expertise area is core in identifying the customer behavior and applying on the industrial data and using various data mining techniques. And I have an experience on Hadoop also. So I used text analytics process on Hadoop also. And the domains which I work is telecom, automobile, insurance, banking, and retail and payment. Yeah. What is text analytics? Text analytics is a process of applying a set of techniques on the text data to extract the information and generate insights. What exactly it is? See, if you see in practical scenario, wherever you go, visit stores, or you want to buy something from online, or you want to purchase anything, normally you will refer to you will always ask opinion about your friends, those who are using the products, or if anybody has provided reviews. So you will always try to seek the opinion from others before purchasing anything. So why you are doing that is to purchase a good product, okay? And you need to give value to money. So that's why you always try to find the asking the opinions about the others about the products. Okay, so this is normally before social media coming. People used to do this one while asking the friends and families and relatives to find their opinions. So after the social media revolution, what happened? The people were not asking anybody; they directly approaching on the internet and viewing the review sites to identify the and to verify whether the product was good or how the product is performing, and is it a value to purchase the things or not. Okay, so these are all the conversations, okay, and these conversations in social media, it will happen via text messages, okay. So so in such cases, what you need to know is, so why this text analytics is needed, okay. So to identify that, first we need to know the fact and opinions. So what are the facts? Facts are objective expressions about entities, events, and their properties. And opinions are usually a subjective matter and expressions that describes people's sentiment, appraisal, or feelings towards entities and events and their properties. It is needed to identify the tone of the text. See, for example, when you review something in the internet, the people will tell their opinion about the product. Okay, so in such cases, those text human can able to understand. But if we want to do that via a machine, means via computer, so it's a bit difficult. So to understand that, you need to demystify the text. So you need to see that, okay, exactly what the text is conveying the message, okay. And that text analytics will help you to understand what customers are seeking from the outside world, okay, from the industry. So to understand the person's opinion, what they do is for example, for example, take the product review. A customer saying that the product is good, but the service is bad. So what exactly he's saying is saying that the product is good, so his sentiment towards the product is positive, but the service is bad. Means the service was maybe they're calling and call center is not responding properly, or they were not, or the agent is not talking politely. So those kind of things will fall under the service category. So how this helps to the industry is see, each and every person case handling is a bit difficult. So if you have a bunch of reviews like this, so at the CEO level, what they look at it is, okay, how my company is performing, okay, what people's perception about my product and organization and services. So these informations, how they come to know, they have to do a text analytics, then only they will come to know these informations. Yeah, they can do market research also. From the market research also, they will come to know once the product has been launched, so how the product perception in the people's mind, what is the people perception about the product and services kind of a thing. But even though they do a market research, there also you are getting a data in comments, okay, the feedbacks. Okay, these feedbacks is a manually processing is a difficult process. So for that, you need to use a text analytics which will process even millions of records in for example within a shorter span of time, and you can get an insight over the overall the context. So how what exactly it is conveying. So that way the text analytics is so important, and it plays a major role in the current industry. Okay, and most of the data, if you see what all the corporates is having is 80% of corporate data is in unstructured format. Okay, so those unstructured data is example product reviews, blogs, forums, employee history, and documents, audio files, and your video files, image files, and emails. Okay, so these are all the way where the information is conveyed from one person to another person in a text format or in images, also in video, where the call recordings will be there, and in the documents, and in the blogs also, people will tell about the product defects. If any defects are there, they will raise it in the blog, and where the people will, some people will provide a solution for that. So these are all the conversations which is happening via text messages. So to understand these data, what is happening in the web world, so we need to apply a text analytics process to know exactly what is happening and what was the people's perception about the organization, about the product and services. Okay, where it can be used. Okay, see, search engines. When you do a Google search engine, okay, Google will understand that what you are typing, so what you are looking for. So it will applies a backend, the text analytics process, and to understand that what customers is expecting. So what was customers citing? So what customer is looking for, and it's a relevant context. It will formulate and it will show you. It will give you some recommendations. Okay, and this recommendation is a text analytics recommendation engines which will give you the information. Okay, and they apply a text analytics on search engines. And suppose, for example, you take a medical healthcare industry. In the healthcare industry, you can see the medical transcriptions where a patient history will be available. Okay, and if you want to apply a text analytics on the medical industry, a medical prescription process is a one process where you can apply that, and patient history to understand the patient diagnosis system, and what was the doctors suggested, how it was, how the patient was reacted for the drugs which were provided. These are all will be logged by the doctors, and they'll keep on maintaining the records. Okay, when you apply a text analytics on this process, so you can analyze a patient. So how the treatment is happening for a particular patient. And medical in medical prescription, it's not a medical prescription, and in healthcare industry there are a lot of areas where you can apply a text analytics and bring a value out of it. Okay, and if you see any X-rays, CT scans, and MRI scans, these are all will the scan reports will be there. Okay, those scan reports manually you will go through. Okay, and suppose if you want to identify that, suppose MRI scan whether the person is having a brain hemorrhage or not. Okay, and see the scan reports which was for the 1,000 patients. Out of 1,000 patients, you can classify that, okay, which patient will tend to have brain hemorrhage, and which person is not having a brain tumor kind of a thing. You can identify based on the text analytics. By understanding the scan reports. So you need to build an algorithm to read the the reports, and after that you can classify whether the person will affected because of the brain tumor or not, or likely to get a brain tumor. Based on the reports, you can able to, and based on the reports, and you can formulate some business rules, and after that you'll identify that whether the person impacted because of the brain tumor or not. So where you can apply a text analytics, and there are there are many areas where you can apply in healthcare industry. And next, chatbot. See, all chatbots are virtual assistants. Okay, these chatbots will happen based on the conversation. So the basic English conversation, and it will reduce your activities. Suppose, for example, you have a laptop. In laptop, you have so many files and stored in different locations. And when you your tendency to forget the things, and you need to search for a particular document, then it becomes a tedious to search for that. So in such cases, if you take any search bot, which is you are asking something, and that bot will go and bring that file whatever you are looking in your system. So how this bot will understand is, bot will understand based on the conversation what you are doing. Okay, and suppose if you are asking, hey bot, could you please let me know the file where it is located in my system, some X file. Okay, so this has to understand by bot. How it will understand? Based on the language what you give, and it has to have an artificial intelligence to identify the file. Okay, so the technique where you have to apply natural language. Okay, natural language processing. Because any person to person, the way of asking the question is different. So obviously you need to the bot need to understand that whoever asking the question, it has to serve the thing. So here is one of the area where natural language processing a crucial role currently. Okay, and logbooks, and these logbooks, what I am talking is industry oriented, where if you see any energy industries that where people will be, the operators will be working at the different equipment, different in the plants, different equipments will be there. There they used to log all the things, pressures, temperatures, and what was the maintenance happened, and is there any false identified. Those informations, everything will be logged in logbook. Okay, and this logbook, assume that one or two logbooks you have to refer, you can manually refer. Suppose if you have a logbook of around 1 lakh records, and you want to analyze what was happened for some particular equipment, and when it has happened, how it has happened, you want to identify those things. So how will you identify? Will you able to go through this 1 lakh? It is very difficult. Okay. Yeah, it is very difficult. So in such cases, what you have to do, all these logs, if you have an entry in the system, okay, where you can apply text analytics and looking for a such looking for a some particular pattern kind of a thing which was at particular equipment level, what has happened and what was the comments is provided by the operators, and who are all what are the maintenance happened, what are the activities who are taken over so on so equipment, those information and all so those information are all you can you can apply text analytics and get the information. Okay, that one way. In that way, the logbook will also help. Okay, another one is the system logs. Okay, when you do a server logs, system server logs, and server logs will have a lot of information where you have warning messages and storage with respect to storage, and suppose if it is in an operational system where all the information server logs will be there containing related to the some particular operations. For example, take the telecom industry. In telecom industry, the huge logs will be getting generated, and the servers will be keep on monitoring. Okay, suppose you want to analyze such kind of logs, and you want to identify that, okay, what kind of network failures is happening and where it is happening and how it is happening and what was the pattern it is there. So you want to identify means you can analyze the text log, the logs using a text analytics, where you have to build the domain specific corpus, and based on that corpus you apply some technique to extract the information, compare and identify where it is happening, what is happening, and show it in the dashboard format. Okay, and what you have to do is you apply a technique and extract the information and load it into a database and show that data, whatever you stored in the database, that via dashboard. So then people can able to understand the things. And similar way, the legal documents. Legal documents is for example, loan agreements is there. Okay, with respect to loan agreements, so who is applied for the loan and who is the borrower, how much amount he applied for the loan, and what was the documents he has provided, and what was the age, and whether he is eligible for loan or not. So these information and all you can apply in the document and get this information, check with your daily process when you do a loan process, and if met the criteria, then you tag that this person can eligible for so and so loan, and this is the eligibility criteria for him based on the analysis. So if you produce such kind of reports, no, the loan process will make very easy, because the people current how it is happening is all loan process are manually happening. They will verify the document, due diligence and everything is manually. So if they apply a text analytics process and image analytics process at this particular area, and it will make the process very smoother, and it will reduce a lot of time to process. So these are the some use cases where you can apply text analytics with respect to industry, and there are so many things are there, but due to time constraint, I cannot able to cover all the things, and the other areas which I have not shown in that images. For example, you take a CSAT analysis where you need to know the customer satisfaction. Okay, suppose you have a B2B industry. Okay, you provided a product, you provided so many products to the your customers, and customers were using. Okay, and you given a product, and there it not ends up business. Okay, once you given the product and customers raising any concerns, then you have to see what customers concerns are there, and you have to rectify that, and you have to take the proper feedback from the customer. Then it will help you to improve your business. If you have any defects in your process also, you can rectify the thing, and you can your business can grow. Okay, so for that customer satisfaction survey will help a lot, but many places I have seen the CSAT data they will not capturing. Okay, And if you are not capturing your CSAT data, then how will identify what customers are thinking about your products and your services? Okay, so that's one of the mandatory process. Suppose if you want to analyze any B2B case or B2C case, satisfaction survey data is a one of the mandatory thing that which needs to be taken care. Okay, and if anybody is not maintaining, and in such cases what you have to do, you have to suggest as a data science person, you have to suggest that okay, you capture the customer CSAT data also, where you will come to know that how your agents, how your products are in the market, those kind of information will be there. And the site content analysis and the loan processing already covered, industry casebook already covered, market survey data. Okay, and you will have a primary data and secondary data where you do field work and get the data from the market, the survey feedback with respect to a product, with respect to a brand, with respect to a campaign. Okay, and you will conduct a campaign, and in the campaign also you will take the feedback from the those who are visited your campaigns. Okay, you want to see that campaign to be converted to your campaign should generate a revenue. How it will generate a revenue? Because if, you need to know your customer feedback on the campaign, how it went, and what the people perception about the campaign. Based on that, so whatever the marketing team they spend on the campaigns can estimate that, okay, whether I can get the amount back or not. Based on that, next time when you conduct a campaign, you will take care the if any flaws are there. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So now you have seen that so many areas where it can be applied and how it can be applied. Say where it can be applied, and what are the areas it works. Okay. As per my knowledge, the broader vision, I can see that any data which is having comments, or which is having any unstructured data, and you can apply text analytics and bring a value out of it. Okay, assume that somebody is giving a newspaper to you and asking you to analyze, can you analyze it, the newspaper? So as a text analytics data scientist, how you have to do is, you have to analyze the paper. Okay, what is this paper, and how many types of news are there, how many types of news are covered under this paper, and what is talking about in this newspaper, what are the news and what categories of types of news are available, and about which person it is talking, and sentiment about the persons, and whether this newspaper entire thing is talking only about a positive, or whether it is only talking about a negative, or this paper is talking everybody taking consideration and giving some information. So these kind of things, a lot of information you can get in a single newspaper only. Okay, so it is the area. See how you have to look at it when you apply a text analytics is, you have to think that, okay, whether it is a small data or a very even huge data. Okay, whether you have a right data to apply a text analytics, that is what you need to first look at it. Okay, if you have a numerical data, in the numerical data, if you apply a text analytics, it will not going to help you. Okay, and you have to see that, okay, what whether do you have a comments, or whether you have any text data which is other than a numeric. Okay, so then you can apply a text analytics on that. Okay, and you will see, people will think that text analytics means it's sentiment analysis is the only one where you can apply text analytics. No, that's wrong. Sentiment analysis is a part of a text analytics, is a small part only, and there are so many things that where you can apply where text analytics conveys the message. One is the intention analysis. Intention analysis is whether this person will purchase or not. Okay, what this person is suggesting. Okay, whether this person is suggesting something, or what was his perception about the thing. So these kind of things are intention will provide, and there are case wise, you can categorize. Okay, what people are talking, which type of problems they are talking, whether this problem is related to where it is related to some particular category, or is it related to entire product. For example, you take people are saying that my Wi-Fi is not working. Could you please fix it? Okay, and this problem, how will you classify? Will you classify this Wi-Fi is a problem of a device problem, or is it? Are you going to classify this as a network problem? Okay, and you have to see that by digging that information, okay, what exactly it is coming. Also, Wi-Fi signal is not receiving. So Wi-Fi signal is not receiving means it could be the Wi-Fi device problem, or it could be a network problem. You have to see that other devices it is working or not. So like this, the problem classification will tell you exactly whether it is a network problem or a device problem. You can do a pinpoint based on the comments what the customers has been provided. Okay, customers can give a rating, good rating, but customers when they give a feedback, what they will do, they will give even though they give they give the rating of 9, they will write in the feedback exactly what their perception about the some particular thing. Okay, so that's the reason it plays a major role when customer is giving some information. Okay, based on that only you will come to know, okay, what customers are requiring. So for all industries, no, this is required, but many people were not recognizing this part. They're thinking that, okay, we need to satisfy the customer and we need to handle the customer requirements and all. True, but how will you come to know what is the customer is asking? Okay, and you are not looking the data what customer is giving. You are looking the data that, okay, what people are outside talking. Okay, so that's the reason what you have to do is you have to see exactly which area you are concentrating and what is your goal when you do a text analytics, and how to bring a value out of it is a matters. Okay, and how it can be done. So text analytics is a process where you use a NLP, natural language processing, and that natural language processing is having a set of steps, which is where you do if you have a sentence or if you have a paragraph, you have to split the paragraph into a sentence. That is called a sentence tokenization. Okay, and your paragraph is nothing but your raw text. Okay, and the raw text you are doing a sentence segmentation. Sentence segmentation means you are doing a sentence tokenization, means you are splitting the each paragraph into a sentence. And once you've done the sentence segmentation, what you have to do is you have to do word tokenization. Word tokenization means each sentence is composed of words. Okay, so you have to use the word tokenization. So you have to split the sentence into words, and once you've done the word tokenization, there is a stemming process is there. Common kind of words will be bringing into one bucket and bringing the value out of it. Okay. Next, once you've done the stemming, you will apply the pause tagging. Pause tagging is nothing but parts of speech tagging, and based on this parts of speech tagging, and you will have a set of grammar rules to identify that what whether they're talking about the subject or whether they're talking about the object, or what is the what exactly they are talking. So those informations based on the grammar rule you can able to identify. And removal of stop words. Removal of stop words means in the lot of comments, if you, whatever comments if you see, everywhere you have the a, and these are all the words which will not convey messages sometimes. So you need to remove that to understand the meaning of the sentence. So that's the reason removal of stop words will be used. But when I do any NLP process or my text analytics process, no, I'll normally not remove the stop words, because sometimes it will give a meaning which will, if we remove that, no, the actual essence of the text meaning will go. That's the reason some of the part where I will not use the stemming and I will not use the removal of stop words. So it's all it's not a mandatory that you have to definitely do the stemming, you have to definitely remove the stop words. It's not a hard and fast rule. You can, if you want, you can remove, you can if you don't want, you can neglect it. Okay, so based on this, what you'll do, once you tag all these sentences, you will apply grammar rules, to identify the context, what context is conveying. And there are another way where you can without applying a fast typing also you can understand the meaning of the text, how that it is possible. Okay, first what you will do, you apply a text, okay, and on the text you will convey, you will extract some of the words which is a positive words, negative words kind of a thing, and you have to compare with your dictionary. You have to prepare a positive word dictionary, means positive word file, negative word file, negation word file, so weightage word file. So like that you have to prepare a words list files, and you have to compare the word by word comparison, and you have to give some scoring to identify that, okay, whether the text is a positive text or whether it is a negative text kind of a thing. So like that, you, if you do, you will come to know sentiment of the sentence, or sentiment of the word, sentiment of the paragraph also at the crude level. But when you have to define the processes to get a more accuracy on that, you have to dig more information on that. And there are text analytics process which normally when we do on the text, what we'll do, we'll try to identify name and entity recognition. Okay, what is the name and entity recognition? Name and entity recognition is, so you will identify known phrases in the text, whatever the comments they're given. Okay, whether they are talking about the organization, or whether they are talking about the people, or whether they are talking about the places. So whether they are talking about any trademarks. So those kind of informations will be a name and entity recognition. We already discussed the sentiment analysis. So where you will do the positive word comparison, negative word comparison, you will bring a score, and after that you will compare that, okay, whether the sentence is a positive or negative. So that sentiment analysis. Okay, what is a categorization? Categorization is a one. Now I told you that, okay, a person is talking about the product, a person is talking about the services. Okay, now in services specifically, okay, what they are talking, is it the person is talking about the agent, or is it the person is talking about the product manuals, or is it the person is talking about the ease of usability of the product? So those kind of things which domain specific, we need to prepare a category, and after that you have to classify, okay, customer is complaining about the product, so and so product, and this product is belongs to which area. So like that you do a categorization. Okay, so it will narrow down your issues, and what was customers are talking about at particular pinpoint level, you will be able to identify. And intention analysis. Okay, if a person says, see, I have used your products, but it is difficult to understand how to operate, means what exactly this text is conveying is, customer has used the product and he is finding it difficult to operate. Okay, means the operation manual is a whether the operation manual is not properly conveying the message how to operate the device correctly, or there will be a lot of procedure in handling the things. So there are so many things are there where, in such cases what you have to classify, whether this the customer what saying is how it's a bit difficult to operate, means your product complexity it is telling. Okay, so you have to categorize such one as a, okay, whether it is a whether it is a complexity of the product, or whether it is a customer complaining about the product manuals. Okay, so documentation, so you can categorize as a documentation. Okay, so customer is saying that intention, what is the intention is, you make the product user friendly, usable, easily usable kind of a thing. So that was the intention which was customer conveying. So if people are difficult to use the product, then people will not use the product. Okay, so then the actionable insight what it conveys is to the management is, the product whatever we are building, it is difficult to operate by the end user. So we have to reduce, we have to make easily usable the products. Then more users you will get, and more products will get sold. And next is term document frequency and inverse term document frequency is when you apply text analytic process. Okay, number of words, what kind of words frequently occurring, and so that is a term document frequency. And inverse document frequency is nothing but okay. After removing the common uncommon used words kind of thing, where you will identify using inverse document frequency. Okay, these are the certain things which will you will get the information out of your text data. Okay, and these informations you can get it from any kind of a text data. Okay, and there are certain places some sentiment analysis will not be there. Some places in patient kind of a thing, there will be a sentiment analysis will not be there, but it may be hidden in some other information kind of a thing. Means suppose a treatment is given to a patient was recovering very fast based on your diagnosis. Means your diagnosis conveying the message that a positive sentiment towards a recovery process. So that way you can tell. Okay, if you want to tell that whether treatment is a positive or negative kind of a thing. Negative, whether it is having a positive effect or a negative effect kind of.